Hi everybody, it's Marjorie Waldo with Marjorie's Minutes for September. I want to talk about the importance of community for Arts Garage and how Arts Garage feels about its community. We see ourselves as a community-driven organization, and that comes from two angles, I think. One is we feel that the platform we've been given by our stakeholders, including the City of Delray Beach, with this incredible space where I look out my window in my office and I see the traffic on Northeast 2nd Ave, people visiting the avenue in downtown and headed to the beach, beautiful palm trees, blue skies, and these amazing people that frequent our venue to see our shows, look at our art exhibits, and we absolutely feel held up and celebrated by our community. Because of that platform and the giving of our community and support of Arts Garage, it's important that we reciprocate that feeling, right? So we try to do things all the time that share access to the arts and culture in Delray Beach to our community partners and to the public at large. So I wanted to give you some examples of some of the things we've done over the last bit of time and most recently. This morning, our IDEA director, Angela Blunt, and I were at the Delray Chamber Education Fund's education breakfast at the Aloft Hotel and got to see the school principals and the amazing amount of community support for education that we have in Delray. And as a past, long-time principal at a charter school for at-risk kids here in Delray, I can tell you personally that the impact of the support by the city and the chamber had a huge impact on the work I was able to do with my students. And I see that impact continuing 2 decades after I started attending those functions. It was really cool to see all of the work that's being done by our schools locally in their effort to help our children. And they are all of our children, right? It's an overused phrase, but it does take a village. It certainly has, as a single mom for over 2 decades, it has made a huge difference to have a village surrounding my children and has helped me raise them. I want to tell you that we're constantly trying to do things to participate in supporting the vision of Delray Beach to be that kind of a community, the kind of community that gives back to its most vulnerable children and community members. Our IDEA director, Angela, does do a lot of cool things. Like, for example, she's had multiple events with the Pompey Seniors Club, fun things here and fun things at Pompey where they meet. I don't know how often they meet, but they've been here several times, and Angela has taken a couple of events over to Pompey Park. We are scheduling a couple more coming, including a musical bingo that Angela came up with that I think is one of the coolest things, one of the coolest ideas. We do a lot of work with the Knights of Pythagoras and C. Ron Allen's kids who come here for sort of singular classes in an after-school framework on art, poetry, music, theater. We hope to continue that. We always host the Martin Luther King Jr. Essay contest for him each year, have for many, many years. And for several years, we've hosted the Fernando Jones Blues Camp. Fernando Jones does this amazing blues camp in Chicago, and he brings a version of that to Delray Beach. So we're serving a lot of kids who might otherwise not have access to the arts, which we love. In addition, we have something that actually one of my marketing people several years ago, pre-pandemic. So I'm going to think late 2018 we started this. It's called Heartfelt. And we collect from our patrons and donors donations that are restricted for purchasing art and music supplies for our local schools who struggle to provide their kids with musical instruments or programming or art tools that they can create their own things and tap into that creative side of their personalities, which you all know that people's brains are rewritten by participating in art and music classes. It impacts directly those students who participate in those classes or programs or camps. You see a sharp increase in their reading and math scores on standardized testing, let alone the fact that it seems that they become more involved in their community as they move towards adulthood. So with Heartfelt, prior to this most recent delivery, which I believe is the first one since the pandemic, maybe there was one other. But anyway, we've served 5 schools before this most recent one with over $4,000 in supplies for their art and music programs. Orchard View, Pine Grove Elementary, Village Academy, Carver Middle, and Spady Elementary. In this month, I'm talking to you in August, although you'll see this in September. In August, we presented over $1,700 worth of art and music supplies to Village Academy, which was a miraculous thing for us to be able to do for me, to know that and we've got pictures that are going to come out with this, I believe, showing you some of the kids using some of the boom whackers and other supplies that we gave them. It's magical to be able to support the schools, especially as a retired principal of a gazillion years. It means the world to me to know that we're supporting the teachers and giving them some fun things that they can do with their students, because the teachers in our community are doing magical work. So those are ways we try to build community. That's not the only way. We also have a very beautiful volunteer program. And while the volunteers are working upwards of 10,000 hours a year, ushering patrons, checking patrons in, answering questions, cleaning up and setting up for shows, they are also able to see world-class music with the hours that they earn doing their volunteering. And some of those seniors might not be able to do that otherwise. So they're seeing the shows while they volunteer, but they also get to come as patrons later. We started a partner program about a year ago where eligible organizations, which are nonprofit organizations, schools, seniors clubs, things like that, have the ability to find out last minute, in the last week, say, about a show that might have some extra seats that we haven't sold, and they get free seats. So I don't have the numbers on that. I wish I did, because I wasn't even planning to talk about the partner program, but we have given away a lot of seats in the last year to people that might not be able to afford to pay for a seat. So, and to be able to come with their friends. So it's not just one seat per organization. Sometimes it's a table of 8 for that organization. So I want you to know that we take our responsibility as a community-driven organization very seriously, that we do as much outreach as we can in collaborations with other organizations like the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum or the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce or the Black Chamber of Commerce or Compass in Lake Worth. We do our best to hold hands with other passionate people when our missions align. And we are grateful to our patrons and donors who help us do that. I talked to you last month about the upcoming theater piece called A Mile in My Shoes. We're asking patrons to bring clean underwear for homeless people because it's a collaboration with the Delray Beach Initiative to end homelessness. So I hope that you see the value we place on the community in which we serve, and that we are holding hands with you as we live our vision of connecting our community to the world through the arts. So thank you for all that you do.